this article is basically saying that there is a large proportion of the British public that are using credit to supplement the running of their home. Right?
That doesn't sound
No, that
safe.
doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good. Kind of like we're almost going back to 2008 when we had the credit crunch.
Yeah.
The only thing is then, I think more people were partying and enjoying themselves. Whereas now, because of inflation...
There's a lot of hardship already.
There is hardship. And by the way, these people are working. These are people that have jobs, right? So mum and dad have a job, but either mum or dad has to take out their credit card to say, look, honey, we're going to need a credit card to pay for the phone bill this month, or we're going to need the credit card to pay for the gas bill this month.
That doesn't sound good at all.
No, this is a problem.
Right now, we're going to be looking at our book analysis of Bulletproof Dating. And Petrina, it's been wonderful. I've been enjoying it so far.
I've been enjoying it too.
So tell me, so what we've been looking at the 27 myths that stop a person from finding love, right?
That's right. We've been going through the various myths over the past few weeks, and we're coming towards the last few myths today.
And we've been busting them, you know. And
Yes,
by the way, guys, if you want to see the previous myths that we covered, feel free to go onto the Robust Life YouTube channel. So that is youtube.com/c/Robust Life TV. All right. And basically you can see the other book analysis that we've done and literally connect into it, and also have links also to Petrina if you want to ask Petrina some more stuff and all that kind of stuff. So what are we going to be looking at today, Petrina?
So today we're going to be looking at myths number 25 to 27, which is on page 124.
Okay,
if you've got the book.
Yep, I've got my book. If you haven't got your book, you can go to christianbooksplus.org. All right, and we've got Bulletproof Dating. All right, this is an amazing book, and we're enjoying it. And you can follow along with us and read more in your own personal time. So we're on page 124. Yep.
And it's myth number 25 that we're covering this morning.
All right, let's take us to the promised land, Super Lady.
It is, if it's meant to be, it will work out perfectly. That is a myth.
So if it's meant to be, it will work out perfectly. So that's that person saying, I had a friend who used this one on me actually one time. It was a friend of mine that I've known for a long time, but we didn't really, she's been a friend. We were close, but obviously once I tried to change my life, I changed my environment. And one thing she said to me is that, there's this person in my life, blah, blah, how did you meet the person? I just met them just a week ago, and I'm really invested, and you know what? I was like, do you know the person's background? Not really, but I just feel it. I feel it, you know? And you know what? If it's meant to be, it's going to work out just fine. Now, I like optimism, but there's more emotion and uncertainty there, and I had to kind of speak with her. So, all right, let's hear where we're going with this.
Okay, so it says, happily ever after isn't a continuous thing. Now, obviously, most of us, when we get into a relationship, we think everything is, going to be really perfect and rosy, and there won't be any difficult times. And that sounds really attractive. And it's because, most of us, we don't like hard work. We are human beings. We're just lazy, basically.
It's true, isn't it? Especially when it comes to love. We have the imagination of the person being perfect. Their person's going to clean between my toes. They're going to pamper me and pamper my nails. They will sing to me with a perfect Disney voice. And you know what I mean? They'll be smelling like rose petals every morning, etc., etc., etc. Because we don't want hard work. We don't want we want everything to be easy for us, right?
That's right. Yeah. So this chapter warns us there will be bad days. and we will have to learn to deal with them and communicate instead of waiting for the other one to read your mind.
That's a tough one right there.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
We want the other person to always know what we need instinctively without us having to say or ask for anything. And this isn't, it isn't going to happen, basically. It says happy relationships do take hard work and you can't escape it.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's a good one. So if you are in a relationship, then you know this thing about the person being able to read your mind. I know what that's about. Sometimes I just want my wife to already just get it, especially if we were in the church. She should know already, right? I don't want to have to go through the hassle of that uncomfortable conversation because he's supposed to already know what I'm thinking, so I can actually I can say that in my marriage, I've been married. This year's gonna make, oh gosh, in 1 month's time. Oh gosh, I better get prepared. In 1 month's time, it's gonna make 20 years. I'm glad I'm doing this show, otherwise I might forget. But it's gonna make 20 years, and I didn't realize. I was speaking about my friends, but I didn't realize that I've fallen into this trap. If it's meant to be, it will work out perfectly, as if the problem will solve itself, as if I don't need to get into an uncomfortable conversation or engage in uncomfortable situations to communicate things or to work on the situation. You know what I mean? So that's a very, very strong point. Oh my gosh. And it says that, and you said, just to repeat what you said, happy relationships do take hard work and you can't escape it.
That's true.
That's interesting.
An example that comes to mind, obviously it's not close to the same thing, is, when, for example, like kids, they want pets and stuff, they want a dog, they want a pet. And, only the parents will know that, even looking after an animal is hard work.
Yeah.
You just don't have fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're right. Jeanette says from Nottingham, says fairy tales are made of this. Absolutely. If it's meant to be, it will work out perfectly. And what you mentioned about pets, and I've witnessed this with my kids. We got our children a kitten in December, and I said, here's the condition. Look, you look after that kitten, because if you don't, you'll wake up one morning and the kitten will be gone. All right. Yeah. So they're like, yes, daddy. If it's meant to be, it will work out perfectly. Of course, daddy. Then it's like, I'm like, what am I smelling there? It's the cat litter tray. Yeah. And then Nicola's like, kids, you need to clean the cat litter tray. And they're like, oh. And they try to put it off, So, yeah, it's actually a really good analogy, because when we want and we desire something, we just assume that it will be easy and we see only the good points. But when we're going through the process of managing what we've received, especially when it comes to the love life or relationship, there will be things that stink, that we will need to put our hands in there and kind of manage it appropriately and solve it, even though we don't feel like it.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So, look, guys, that myth of if it's meant to be, it will work out perfectly has been busted. He's like cute today. All right, good one. So look out for that, guys. Look out for that, and don't take your love life for granted. Let's keep using our head, because there's going to be a lot of work ahead. All right. Yep. Let's go for it, sis.
Okay, myth number 26. A great love will always be romantic.
Ooh, let's hear this one.
Okay, says the passion that exists at the beginning of a relationship is not permanent.
Okay, repeat that again.
The passion that exists at the beginning of a relationship is not permanent.
If you got the book,
and
underline that.
I think you can resonate with that after being 20 years marriage.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's a different ball game. It's a different kettle of fish. Don't get me wrong. I'm still attracted to my wife. Still love my wife. But that whole thing of like, you're seeing her only in the best picture, the best image. It's like, my wife in her assistant uniform, with her scarf during the winter time, and you walk past, I smell her perfume. You know what I mean? We're in the Friday service, and then she takes care of herself after. It's like, it's different when you're with the person, isn't it?
Yes. So it talks about a more mature love is based on more solid and permanent things.
Sorry, repeat that again. Repeat that line again.
It says a more mature love is based on more solid and permanent things.
So that means that there is a immature love.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right? If there's a more mature love, there's an immature love as well. And I think that's what we need to understand as well, right? Sometimes we can get caught up in the immature love, which is based purely on feelings, but you're going to go into what the mature love looks like. Go ahead.
That's right, yeah. So it says a great love is not marked by romance all the time, and this is what we need to remember. Because if you think about it, when a couple first starts meeting each other and dating, that there'll be a lot of like love notes, flowers, gifts, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I used to do poems. Yeah, I used to do
poems.
I used to write poems. Yeah. Hugo's looking at me like is he the Don? Yes, I used to do poems back in the day because I used to like wording and stuff like that, and flowers. I haven't written a poem like in the past year. Do you know what I'm saying? Because in the beginning, there's that romance period, right?
Yes.
And I don't know. She brought that poetry out of me at that time, So yeah, okay. Continue before I dig myself into a grave. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So it basically states that as we progress in the relationship, things take a different angle. And gets more mature in that sense. So you're not always just relying on the gifts and the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
As we normally do in the beginning of a relationship.
Yeah. And there's an example it gave here in the text. It says, a young wife complained about her husband's seeming coldness, saying, if he loved me, he'd want to be with me all the time. Right? In the beginning, you want to be with that person all the time. You don't even live together. Right, with most case scenarios, I could say in my scenario, but now she's coming. He doesn't want to be with me all the time. There's a time for everything. Sometimes you want to fart and be the only one who smells it with no one around. Your boyfriend also has these moments, right? Hugo's like, good gosh, what an analogy. But it's true. It's true. It is different, So I like that. So don't expect your relationship to always be marked with romantic surprises and on special occasions. And and that's the thing, because once you're together all the time, right? Life happens, and when you watch a movie, like I think we've spoken about this earlier on when we started this series, you're seeing that whole relationship blossom in a 120-minute movie, right? In a 90-minute movie, where it's the action, then it's the roses, then it's that ballroom dancing and music, and it's like people can get it twisted and think that's the standard for a serious relationship, right? I don't get me wrong. I believe that stuff's important. I believe it's important for me to have to get away, to have our time, to go to a restaurant and to kind of, I think it's important. But, when the person's like, you don't do that for me anymore. And it's like, we just went like last month. Like, could you go easy on me? I think some people we can get it wrong and bring problems that don't really exist into a relationship.
And I think the other issue is when we compare what someone else, another couple does with our own relationship.
That's true.
That can be harmful as well.
That's true. I think there's a difference between comparing and getting ideas, right? Because there's getting that's a good idea. I think I'll do that with. Do you get what I mean? Because that's the idea of giving. But comparing is it's like okay. She just got he just got her a new car. What are you doing for me?
Exactly.
What are you doing for me?
Yeah. Or he gave her like 20 roses and I only got 10, right? So why
I went to the extreme. You brought it down to earth. It's true. That's a very good point. So we can't be like that. I think everyone needs to understand that their relationship is individual, right, between the two couple, and so long as we have our standards for what's tolerable, especially in the dating period, right, so we're not causing each other harm, etc. We just need to work on what we can do to please each other. I think that's a huge one. All right, so a great love will always be romantic. Has been. Oh, we missed that one. Has been. Busted. All right. Here we go. All right, now let's go to the final one, Super Lady.
Okay, so myth number 27, you have to feel attraction for the other person. You have to feel attraction for the other person. You need to have chemistry.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. All right, so those of you who are like, I don't like that guy, it's not my type. You know, or that lady is like, nah, sorry, nah, she's butters, or whichever. I'm just using examples of situations I've come across. Yeah, let's hear it. Go ahead.
Okay, so it says basing the success and durability of a relationship on physical attraction is like planning an outdoor event at some future date based on today's good weather forecast. So you have no guarantee about what tomorrow's weather will be like, and you know you can't just base it simply on that. So you need to bear in mind that physical attraction changes over time as we age as well.
Yeah.
And the book gives a very good example. If you watch, look at photos of celebrities when they were younger, in their 20s and 30s, compare them to now when they're in their 60s, 70s. Obviously, the beauty, the attraction goes down. So its physical beauty will fade with time. So a relationship cannot be based on it.
Yeah.
A relationship needs to be based on timeless qualities that beautify a person who possesses them and keeps them attractive in spite of the appearance of their body.
I think you've just literally nailed this thing in the bud, right? You know, why go through all this? Why bust the myths? Why go through all of this? Because sometimes we can be so superficial as human beings, right? I believe, to be attracted to the person is important, right? Looks has a part to play. However, for the person who wants to have something long term, they're looking for something much more deeper. I would rather have a woman who respects me, who takes ownership of her role as a woman, who wants to add to my life, to add to me, who wants to go on this journey to me, for us to go on it together and grow stronger and wiser together. I would prefer these things, who's faithful, obviously. I prefer these things than, maybe it's too late to say this now, but Halle Berry. Because when I was in my early days, Halle Berry was the one for me. It used to be all about Halle Berry, right? Because of her appearance. Well, I don't know how she's like a big woman now, but because of her appearance those times, right? You could have a Halle Berry, but guess what? They don't want to add to your life. They don't want to add value. They don't want to encourage you. They're just occupying space, right? They don't want to grow together with you. They want to speak negative. When things get hard, they're too easily bowled over by the situation and make the situation 10 times harder. They look like Halle Berry, but when these situations in life occurs, the looks don't mean nothing. I think even Proverbs, it says that something about the nature, the character of an unruly woman who's beautiful is like a pig with a ring in its nose. I'm paraphrasing, so I get it. This is really strong. This is so important. So guys, we have to look out for this. That guy with that 6-pack and the big muscles, but guess what? If inside of his character, inside of him, you're not looking there, you're not testing to see what his characters are like, what his standards are like. If you have faith in God and they have no faith in God, then you're at a disadvantage, because you're going to govern your life by God's standards and they will govern their life by what they want, right? Whatever they feel is right. And that can put you at a disadvantage or in trouble, right? Because, when we come into a relationship and we're trying to agree on something, if you don't have that judge, which is God's standards, then one person can make up what they want and someone ends up getting hurt. So it has to be more than looks. That chemistry there in the beginning, it has to be more than just what we see with our physical eyes, Petrina?
Yeah, and certainly we can learn from most celebrities by observing them. If you look at most celebrity couples, they're good looking, physically good looking, but most of them, their relationships don't survive the time because of this reason as well.
There we go. All right. So if it's all about looks, the most successful relationship would be the celebrities. But unfortunately, that's not what we're seeing. That isn't what we're seeing at all. You know, so guys, we have to look out for that. All right, is there anything else, Petrina?
No, that's myth number 27. Once you bust it, I will go and conclude about what we can learn from these myths.
Okay, so you have to feel you have to feel attraction for the other person. You need to have chemistry. That has been busted. Okay, with that out of the way, all right, let's hear it, Petrina.
Okay, so it says, what can we learn about these myths? Now the book says that these myths, although they've named 27 of them, the list is not complete in terms of there will be other myths as well, which you can think about as time goes by. However, it says you need to remember a myth's appeal lies in its appearance of truth and common sense.
Repeat that again.
Remember, a myth's appeal lies in its appearance of truth and common sense. But it's just an appearance.
Yes.
So when you take a closer look, you'll find out that the reality is almost always the opposite.
That's so true.
So it just reminds us that the common ground in all these myths is that they advocate a simplistic, convenient, or lazy approach to your love life. And this is what I've been saying, because most people, you know, we're human, we're lazy, and we just want convenience and simplicity.
That's true. That's true. That's why Uber and Just Eat and them lot have been so successful, right? We just want convenience and want things easy, right? All right, go on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it talks about, as a student of intelligent love, you need to train yourself to question these beliefs, customs, and especially the trends promoted by media about the world of relationships. They are usually disseminated by celebrities who have no authority on the subject, as you can see by their own relationships. And this is what I've just said. We are modeling what we've learned in the media and, you know, what we see in celebrities. However, they are the worst. Most of them are the worst role models in terms of this area.
Yeah.
So the book asks us to do some homework and basically say, have you ever been influenced by one of these 27 myths that are listed? And can you think of a myth that is not on the list?
Okay, that's a good piece of homework. So guys, if you could send that through to us, if you believe you've been influenced by one of these myths, or if there's a myth that we haven't mentioned here, please put it in the live chat, or just contact us through the Breakfast Show What's Up line, okay, which is plus 44 75 79 79 6845. All right, and we'd love to share that with you and give feedback on this even after the show when we continue next week. It'll be good to hear from all of you. All right, okay, cool.
Okay. And I just want to say that, you know, those of us who have children or bring up children, you need to just bear this in mind so that you don't pass down these myths to the future generations as you bring your children up.
That's true. It's true, because sometimes, you know, some people say, I have a generational curse. Every time the marriages always fail when it gets to 2 years. It's because, guess what? Just like recipes are passed and people get the same health problems, sometimes ideas and relationship can get passed and they face similar problems. You know, this is it. Those are the things that can be hereditary, you know, but it's got nothing to do with our DNA. It's all to do with what we're carrying here and we're passing through here. So that's really, really important, listeners. We can't miss this.
And really, I would recommend giving this book as a gift to your children when they reach that stage when they are starting to date, because it's going to be a really good book for them.
Yeah, I think 21 years old is a good time for them to receive a book like this.
Yes.
21. Daughter, son, 21. To date, to think about dating. Anywho. All right, Petrina, thank you so much for that. You've been absolutely awesome.
You're welcome.
All right, and what we're going to be covering next week?
Next week we're going to talk about, now that we've covered all the myths, how to create your own personal marketing. how to market yourself.
Ooh, this is going to be very nice, very saucy. So, guys, get ready for that one. How to market yourself. That because you can market yourself in the wrong way and catch the wrong type of attention, right?
That's right.
Many times you've heard people say that, I always meet the same type of guy, or I always meet this type of girl, but I really want this.
I attract the wrong person.
I attract the wrong person all the time. It could be the way that you're marketing yourself. So this would be great for us to apply or to share with somebody that we know is in the dating arena. All right, Petrina, I look forward to that for next week. That'd be great.
Great.
All right. So, guys, that was our book analysis that we just had at Petrina Ten. I'm looking forward to next week. Connect online Monday to Friday with special guests for inspiration, motivation to start your morning right. Music, banter, fun and laughter. Connect when you start your mornings with The Breakfast Show. Only on libertyradio.co.uk. That's right, The Breakfast Show is back. libertyradio.co.uk from 6:30 a.m.